probably what we will do is we'll prearrange a live YouTube feed at the same time. So if it's 2,000 or 10,000 or 20,000, it doesn't matter. All of you will have an opportunity to get the information right from the horse's mouth as it's happening. So I'll tell you what we'll do, since so many people can't get in, we'll make this our trial run, our first one, and I'll do a really crappy job. And that way they're really not missing that much. Welcome Trinidad, welcome Sweden. Welcome Norway. Hi everyone. Okay, others said they're recording too, so I'll try to keep the profanity to an absolute minimum. All right, so we're going to cover a very, very broad range of topics today. And you'll get a sense of what we're going to be doing for this end of the month meeting moving forward from month to month this year as we go through this. Essentially, the format is going to more or less be the same from month to month to month, of course, with some updates. I'll tell you later on the catastrophe that we've experienced today with one of our special guests not being able to make it. But I'm going to keep it a bit of a surprise. And I'll let you know who couldn't make it when we get to those slides. So I think we've got, okay, so I think we've still, let me see. I think we've still got people in the waiting room. I'm just going to have a peek and see if we can pull someone else in who was hoping to speak with us. And if we can't, then I'll pretend I'm them. Okay. Please bear with me for just another couple minutes. We'll just use the excuse that this is our inauguration for things being a little bit sloppy. But keep in mind, I haven't hit the record button yet. So it's basically your word against mine as if this meeting isn't going absolutely perfect in the beginning. We may be able to get our special guest. Okay, so I've sent that message out. Hope for the best. We can squeeze them in a little bit later, and let's dive into things because we got a lot we want to accomplish. Italy, welcome Italy. Northampton, Galway, pleasure. So this is great. We're really covering the map, which really was the intention of these meetings. So let's get rolling. I'm going to hit the record button. Okay, record has started. So now from this point forward, I'm going to do my best to act professional. All right, let's dive into things. First of all, agenda. What we're going to cover this month. We're going to talk about, now remember, these end of the month meetings, there's going to be a primary focus you're going to see over and over and over again. And that really is entrepreneurship and really helping you squeeze all of the opportunity, all of the possibility out of your CFX business. So entrepreneurship and various skills that go along with entrepreneurship are going to be critically important. Mentor rank, that should actually say mentor promotion, not rank. Please forgive me. Using systems for success. Many of you have heard me discuss this particular topic before, how systemizing or taking a systemized approach to business can make such a significant impact to the results that you create for yourself. We're going to have a success interview. In fact, I'm really looking forward to these on a month-by-month basis as time passes. We're going to speak in regards to global leadership and ultimately what's required to really put yourself on the map in the CFX space. We're going to talk about corporate news and highlights, but there was a few additions also that are not on this agenda list. And so they'll just be surprises for you as we sort of move through this presentation. So very first thing we want to do, before anything else, I'm going to play a video. Most of you have seen this video 100 times. I can't believe I forgot to turn off annotations. There we go. In fact, I might take a moment and erase all the silliness that's already on the screen. Just give me a moment here. So you don't have to stare at them. Stare at these. Oh, look at me. Don't have to stare at these dots while we're presenting the whole time. And we'll disable again before anyone sees anything that they shouldn't see. All right, now we're going to watch a very short video. This is a video that most of you have seen many, many times, but pay really close attention to the 90 seconds of content that's in this video.
This year, we are seeing the dream of financial freedom being pushed further and further away for millions of people. Record business closures and massive global layoffs are pushing people's budgets to the breaking point and having a dramatic effect on their quality of life. Many people are being forced to survive on credit, paying today's bills with tomorrow's wages. This is a guaranteed path to financial disaster. Are you currently enjoying the lifestyle that you're working so hard to achieve? In contrast to these statistics, the wealthiest of our populations increase their net worth year after year, and they're able to accelerate their wealth during economic downturns. How is this possible? Financially experienced people put wealth-building principles to work for them, rather than trading their time for a wage. In the following video, we'll introduce you to two of these powerful principles and show you how you can get them working for you right away. At CFX, we believe the opportunity to create financial abundance is the right of every person. A better life can begin now. Start your journey with us today. It will be the most empowering change you've ever made.
So the reason that I wanted to start with that 90 seconds is that some of the language that we focused on in that very short video is there for very specific reason. And one of the first lines is that we at CFX believe it is the right of everyone to create financial abundance for themselves. This is critically important. It's a very important statement. I want you to consider, just for example, what's transpired over the last year. One of the most disruptive years that any of us, in fact, the most disruptive year that any of us can remember during our lifetimes. We've heard stories of more disruptive years, but I doubt anyone that is watching this recording or live in this room right now was probably alive for. And so this, I know, is challenging for many of you as individuals having high levels of success in CFX, because all around you is frustration, all around you is doubt, all around you is insecurity. And many of you are having banner years. And those that aren't know very well and truly that you're on a path to accomplish exactly that. And so that line that we all believe, we at CFX believe, that is the right of anyone. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female. It doesn't matter what social status that you may have within your sphere of influence. It doesn't matter what social equity you may have within your circle of influence. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic class that you were born into or are currently in. And so this truly is a gateway to accomplish anything that it is, anything that you want to accomplish. And then later in that video, we talked about some financial principles and some very important financial principles that if you put them to work for you, you can accelerate and dramatically increase your chances of accomplishing things that many of you perhaps have thought and maybe still think that you never could be successful accomplishing. And so this idea of becoming an entrepreneur, especially partnering with CFX through this journey of entrepreneurship, it really is, and it's an important thing that everyone should take very seriously if they're looking to get more out of life. Now, this obviously CFX is not the only path one can take to entrepreneurship, but this is a very sound path. And those of you that are here, we're certainly excited that you're on this journey with us. So this road to becoming an entrepreneur, this is nothing that we're going to dive into with any great depth on this presentation, because we've got a lot that we want to cover for our inaugural January event. But this is going to be an overlying constant theme through these end of month meetings. So we're going to talk about entrepreneurship and what's really required to embrace that and to be successful as an entrepreneur during 2021. Each one of these end of month meetings, we're going to have more and more content for you in this particular area. But as a starting point, I have something I want to share with you as a starting point. Now, this is something that I was first exposed to when I was just a kid. Even pre my portrait studio days that many of you have heard me talk about, when I was just 18, 19, 20 years old, just getting rolling in business. And it was a book that was recommended to me, and I have since received probably half a dozen copies of these from friends and people that are important to me. And the first time that I read it, I was still a teenager. And if you have not read it, I'm sure that everyone who's going to watch this recording or is here with us live will have heard of this book, but perhaps very few of you have actually read this book. And so this is the very first starting homework assignment that I'm going to have for each one of you that really want to engage with these end of month meetings and pull as much value and as much opportunity out of this current situation that you're in as you possibly can. So Think and Grow Rich was written by a gentleman named Napoleon Hill. And the story behind this book is just as fascinating as the book itself. And I'm not going to go into that in great deal. I'll spend a little bit more time exposing you or introducing you to this in our next month in February. But in preparation for 2021 and for these end of month events, these end of month business meetings, entrepreneurial focused meetings, I would encourage all of you to get a digital or get a physical copy of this book and prepare yourself. And one of the things, those individuals that have read this book over the course of their life, Napoleon Hill gives you a set of instructions to do when you start reading this. And there are always going to be certain quotes or lines or stories from this book that stick with people, and it's different for everybody. But I remember after his instructions, how I was paying attention to the material that I was reading. And when I decided I was going to add this photograph and this page to this presentation, funny enough, one of my favorite lines from the book just instantly popped into my head. It's not written down. It's nowhere in my office. But when I read this for the very first time at 18 or 19 years old, it was a line that really stuck out to me. And so when it popped into my head, I actually wrote it down on this slide for you. I'm going to read it to you in just a couple of seconds. But this is the kind of impact this book has for people that read it. And so I just found that was quite amusing for me that I had that personal experience pop up. Those of you who have read this know exactly what I'm talking about. So here's that particular line. We foolishly accept our own limitations as the proper measure of limitation. And I remember reading that, and I had to stop and read that. I think I read it 3 or 4 or 5 times in a row. And if you really break down what he's saying here, as we're moving through any facet or in any chapter in our life, anytime we're taking on any new challenge, anytime we're learning anything new, we're going to be hit with frustration. We're going to stumble initially as we're just learning our way through this new experience. And often what we will do is we'll jump to conclusions saying, well, perhaps entrepreneurship is not for me. Perhaps business is not for me. Perhaps this idea of creating abundance in my life, well, perhaps it's just not for me. Because we foolishly accept our current limitation, our lack of specific skill in any particular area, as the proper measure of limitation. In other words, the limitation that's surrounding us as a rookie is not the real definition of limitation. Think of any self-starter, any one who's arrived, anyone that you admire with their business skills or any other facet of life that you look to longingly. Think of their limitations are obviously going to be significantly different than yours. So this was a quote that always stuck with me, and I found it particularly empowering when I was new in anything. It was almost a get out of jail free card when I was being very hard on myself and realized that I was being excessively hard on myself at a stage of my learning that there was no reason at all to be judging or difficult on myself. So that's something I want to leave with you. For those of you who have never read this or perhaps never even heard of it, go pick up a physical copy if you want to go down to a local bookstore. I love having physical copies around, or I'm sure you can probably get a digital copy as well now. All right, so let's talk about this mentor promotion. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the presentation, when we were going over the agenda, this is not a rank. This is a promotion. So in other words, you'll not see any significant change at all to the compensation structure of the rewards plan by reaching this. But what you will do is you will be laying a foundation for growth, not only in your business, but the business of those around you when you pay particularly close attention to becoming a mentor. This is very important stuff. And so you can see from the graphic in front of you, when you personally refer 3 people to CFX, you will be able to be referred to as a mentor. Right now, when you first join CFX, you have a banner, I guess a banner for lack of a better term, that you put your photograph in the middle of. And that very first bright green banner that you receive, you will be able to rise in another banner from that rank, that starting rank, to the mentor rank as soon as you've referred 3 people to CFX. Now, we're going to draw on this again in a few minutes when we talk about success systems and how important it is to use systems to propel yourself to significant business success. All right, so question. Why use systems for success? Now, we're going to play one more video for you. And those of you who are on camera, I can see Vivian's iPad. Vivian, can you wave for a moment? There we go. Perfect. Do me a favor. If the audio is coming loud and clear in the next video, will you give me a thumbs up? All right. So we're going to start another video for you, and then we'll talk about this particular video as we shift our focus to systems and business.
There's more opportunity for financial success in the world today than ever before in history. Towns, cities, countries, and continents, all connected by a global network, giving everyone access to unlimited information and to each other. Despite all this opportunity, there's an ever-growing earning gap between the wealthy elite and the vast majority of people. A determination to succeed is a prerequisite for creating wealth, but determination alone is not enough. There are many important financial principles wealthy parents teach their children to create an early success mindset. 2 of these principles are also key in building a strong and successful CFX business. The first principle is to build a system-focused business. An effective system will both minimize and simplify your work. In fact, an effective system will do much of your work for you, which is especially important when building a part-time business where your free hours may be limited. The CFX Success from Home system includes 3 short videos on a dedicated webpage, making sharing each of these videos extremely easy. If you prefer to use a live CFX meeting, there are multiple Zoom presentations almost every day of the week. Soon, the resource section in your back office will contain more detailed training of this system and how to master each of these details. Simplicity is key. A simple system is much easier to teach than a complex system. And this fact plays an important role on the speed of growth of your business. Financial principle number 2 is leverage. Critical to any significant success is the ability to leverage oneself, to escape the trading time for money model taught in schools and universities globally. Trading your time for a paycheck is potentially the worst of all financial traps. The exception, of course, is if you've chosen a career that you absolutely love. The majority of people invest too many hours sacrificing over jobs or careers they dislike. Fortunately, leveraging a system means that freeing up your time and finances may be possible much sooner than you think. In business, one may leverage time or money. This particular strategy will focus on leveraging time, primarily because everyone has the same amount of it. We may prioritize differently, but we all have the same 168 hours each week to work with. The obvious question, how do we leverage time? It's actually quite simple. By successfully performing specific actions within the system, and then teaching those same actions to others. You may think you're not qualified to teach anything to anyone, but that's not true. If you've just finished completing these action steps first yourself, you are, in fact, perfectly qualified to teach them. Do first, then teach. That's the process. As others follow and copy your actions, you are leveraging yourself through them. As they follow your lead and begin teaching others, you're further leveraging their actions towards reaching your objectives. And as you assist them in reaching their goals, you'll continue to reach more of your own goals. Below this video are 2 tools to assist you in setting your earning targets. The first is the CFX Matrix Calculator. This is based on a simple 3x3 build strategy. You may enter a withdraw amount at the top of the calculator, then click the Calculate button, and you will see your projected matrix earnings from your growing team. Below that is the Unilevel Calculator. Enter trade package amounts to chart your Unilevel earnings as your growing team moves up through the CFX trade package ladder over time. The tools are already built for you. The roadmap has been laid out. The only thing required from you is to start moving forward, to provide the energy and determination to succeed.
Okay, so I wanted to play this video for you because this is on the second page, the accelerator page of the CFX Success from Home website. And while many of you have seen the first page and you've gone through the 3 videos, you can see, in fact, on the screen there is the 90-second video at the top. And then below that is, in fact, this is the accelerator page. This is the page we're just watching that second video. So if you see the couple outside of the private jet and you click that play button, you'll watch the 4-minute video that we just reviewed. So I know that many of you have not had a chance yet to see that. In fact, go ahead and in the chat right now, if you are watching that video for the very first time, go ahead and type a 1 into the chat right now. I just want to get a sense of how many of you had not yet seen that video. Okay, that's a lot of 1s coming through. All right, so that means I'm going to spend just a little bit of time on this. This idea of taking a systemized approach and leveraging yourself is so critically important in being successful in any home-based business. So I don't know how that happened. That is supposed to be disabled. So let me erase that. And John, I can see who's doing that. That's John's iPhone. So anyone who knows John, you go ahead and give him a punch in the head right now, because we know he's the one that's actually doing that. Let's see. I don't want you all to have to look at scribbles. So let me erase that. Perfect. That was me this time. Eraser, here we go. Okay, so just so you know, I can see who is doing the scribbling if you do it. So you're toast if I catch you doing it. All right, so a lot of you are setting chats in here now. And so the chat rather in regards to number 1, you have not seen this video before. And so that's very important that you understand the concepts behind this video, because I know that everyone in this room, this end of month meeting, remember the overwhelming theme is going to be entrepreneurship, reaching your goals. That first 90-second video that we watched, this idea to create abundance in your life is critically important. And so it's really key that you understand where money comes from in a home-based business. That was Ben this time. Anyone knows Ben? Give him a slap, okay? And I'll delete that as well. Actually, Hugh, you're a co-host. You can just hit the delete button if you don't mind. I have no idea why people are able to do that, because the disable annotation for others should be on. So there we go. I apologize. I didn't turn the disable correctly. So I'm going to delete this for you as well. All this means is there's more stuff to edit when we publish this, which is more work for me, but that's okay. I can suck it up and deal with it. Okay, so that shouldn't be able to make any more marks. That should be set properly. All right, so where was I? We're talking about how money is made in the network marketing space, in the home-based business space. And this is very, very important for you to understand. In the 4-minute video that we just watched, one of the lines is that trading units of time for units of money is one of the biggest. I can't remember the language I used exactly, but, and I don't want to use overly negative language. What I said though, I think maybe I said time wasters, something like that. But this is really important for you to understand. If you are in a career that you're passionate about, that's an absolutely fantastic thing. In fact, it's the pinnacle of success in life. If you are making money doing something that you absolutely love, it doesn't matter what it is. All that matters is that you absolutely love doing it. And that's what everybody should strive for. Not all of us are fortunate enough to be in a career that they're passionate about. So they're making money as a means to an end, but that's all it is for the most part for them. So they look for other positives during their day job to make that as constructive an experience as we possibly can. When you're truly looking to create freedom for yourself, though, it's important you understand in the home-based business space, and I will tell you that if you're looking to replace a professional income and beyond, if you follow the models and the system that we're talking about in the CFX Success from Home site, believe it or not, this is going to sound unbelievable to you. Believe it or not, this is something that you can do in about 5 hours a week. 5 hours per week. If you can find that, you can make this system work for you to such a degree that you can free yourself financially. But 5 hours a week is going to require all of those principles put to work for you. Some of those principles are the principle of leverage. At the end of the video, it said we can leverage either time or money. All of us have the same 168 hours a week to use. Some of us use those 168 hours far more efficiently than others. But if you can find 5 out of those 168 hours per week, you can be massively successful in this project. So let's talk specifically about how one does that. First of all, before we do, you need to be very clear that anyone who has made any significant success in any network marketing project for the last 60 years since the first were being launched has done so by leveraging themselves. I'll give you an example. If you were building an Amway business 25 years ago, you couldn't possibly sell enough laundry detergent or septic tank aids or supplements to replace a professional career. However, if your focus was assisting 2 or 3 or 4 others to do exactly the same thing that you were doing, and then assisting them to help their 3 or 4 others, friends, do the same thing that they learned from you, you now have an exponentially growing business. And so if everyone in that exponentially growing business does a little bit, and you have the capacity through some sort of reward structure to earn a little bit from all the activity, where you're truly leveraging yourself in someone else's time. In this case, from the time of many, many people. And this is why in that video we said we're going to focus on leveraging time. You absolutely can leverage money. Many of you have heard success stories of very wealthy people that leverage their money all the time to induce or create even more gain, more success. But you need to have a significant amount to start with for leveraging money to work effectively for you. We want to use an equal opportunity employer, and that's why we focus on leveraging time. And so back to the mentor promotion, sharing 3 friends and getting recognized for the sharing your CFX business with 3 friends, recognized as a mentor. That is your new building block. Before that mentor promotion existed, your building block was executive rank. And executive rank takes a very concentrated effort, and it takes a little bit of time to develop the skills to ultimately reach the rank of executive. Well, you have a new building block to create success and hit ranks in your CFX business, and that new building block is the mentor promotion. And that mentor promotion is accomplished by sharing 3 CFX, your CFX platform, your business with 3 people, but not just any 3 people. You're looking to share this business with 3 people that are looking to make money fast. Now, if you've heard me talk about this before, you know exactly what I'm referring to. If you have not heard me talk about this before, what I just said sounds insane. Make money fast. What the heck does that mean? Very simply, you're looking for 3 individuals that are looking for the opportunity to have as much success in CFX as possible. And so by definition, we all know what that would mean is not just generating gains through trading activity, but also to earn fast start bonuses, also to earn a unilevel paycheck, and also to earn matrix earnings as well. And so that would be an individual that's looking and is excited about sharing CFX with others. So you're looking for 3 people to become a mentor. You're looking for 3 people that are also interested in looking for 3 people. Make sense? So this gives you an opportunity now to be participating in an exponentially growing business, and you are leveraging yourself. In my humble opinion, I don't think it's possible to truly free yourself without leverage in your life. Every single person that you know needs a leverage-based income source, even if it's only a 3 to 5 hour per week leverage-based income source, because the ultimate prize for all of us is not just extra cash. You can earn extra cash taking a part-time job at Starbucks. Extra cash is not why you're here. You're here to earn a recurring income that's going to continue to flow to you even when you stop participating. Is your income from your part-time job at Starbucks going to continue to flow to you if you stop going to work? Of course not. So earning extra money is not why you join CFX. Okay, earning recurring or residual dollars, that's why you joined. And that's why leverage is so critically important, because leverage allows you not only to generate that recurring income, but to have that recurring income increase in size week after week, month after month, and year after year. And that's where you're going to free yourself. And the other way, of course, is that we know that trading units of time for units of money are not ultimately going to get you to your objective. Because even if you work very, very hard and you go to some a specialized school and you develop a very specialized set of skills that might be worth $100 or $200 or $300 an hour or even more, well, congratulations, you're going to build a very nice life for yourself. But you need to understand that you're going to be beholden to trading units of time for units of money to maintain the lifestyle that you're creating for yourself. So where does your time freedom going to come into place? Many individuals, friends of mine that are incredibly successful and own very successful companies or practices, they often are complaining about the amount of hours, the sheer volume of hours that they have to work to maintain a lifestyle. $100, $200, $300, $400 and beyond is going to pay you a wonderful income, and you're certainly going to have a fantastic cars in the driveway and a beautiful home and take some exotic vacations. But that work needs to continue to happen to maintain the lifestyle. What you're building here. And by the way, like I said before, if you find your passion in life, it doesn't matter what the passion is, as long as it's your passion, then you've reached the pinnacle of success when it comes to professional or money-making endeavors. But when we talk about trading units of time for units of money, you need to understand at some point, you're going to want to hang it up. And so if you've created a recurring income source where you've used some of these exponentially financial principles, these that we've talked about in the 4-minute video, well, you're going to have the best of both worlds. Because not only are you going to have an income source that can continue to grow, but you're going to have an income source that can follow you wherever you go. These are absolutely key things. Okay, so now we are going to move on to something that is going to also be a very important recurring part of these end of month meetings. And that is, we want all of you to have an opportunity to get to know global leaders in CFX. These are individuals that have put themselves on the map by busting their rear ends and accomplishing some incredible things in the long or the short time that they've been involved in the platform. So we're going to introduce you to men and women that are really making their mark in CFX, individuals that perhaps you don't usually have an opportunity to talk to on a regular basis unless you're part of their genealogy. Now, Hugh, before we get started, what I'd like to do, I'm just going to check really quickly and just see if one of our special guests, here we go, has had an opportunity to get in the room, and he has, and we just let him in. His diligence pays off. That's a wonderful thing. Okay. Now, Hugh, why don't we dive into things? And by the way, special guest who I'm not naming right now, who I just let in the room, if you want to turn on your camera at any time during this interview and ask Hugh a couple questions, please feel free to do so as well. Hugh, can you unmute yourself, please? I just hit you. I just clicked there you go.
Got you now, yeah. I was just going to say before we go on, if you want to make me co-host, I can help manage the room for you. But I'd
love to make you co-host.
Yeah, I think you might.
I might as well take a second to do that because I've got tons to edit out of this recording now. Anyway, more co-host. There you go. And I'm going to make one more person a co-host as well. Here. There. Okay. All right, Hugh, how are you?
Yeah, very good, John. Thank you.
Hey, thanks very much for your patience at the beginning of this, where we're just kind of getting a few growing pains all sorted.
Yeah, no, it's incredible the reaction that we've got for the first event, you know.
Yeah. So listen, we need to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, go on ahead.
This whole concept was something that came out of your brain in a conversation you and I were having.
Yeah, but back last summer, as far back as July, I think it was.
It was a long time ago. Yeah, and so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that you were our first guest, because you've been building a CFX business now for, is it 6 months, 8 months?
9 months. 9 months today.
9 months today, director, and your business is growing. I wouldn't say growing like a weed, because that's not necessarily the most positive connotation. It's growing like crazy. Let's just say that.
Yeah. No, it's certainly been an incredible journey, considering, as we said earlier on today, we had a training with Richard this morning. We had over 700 people on the call, and Richard rightly said that, you know, my early stages, I genuinely, almost to my eternal shame now, was very derogatory towards CFX when I heard the name mentioned in January 12 months ago, you know. And even in February,
I remember taking heat from you.
Yeah, well, that wasn't until April. You didn't get it until April, but everyone else got it before that, you know. And then in April, the persistence of my now sponsor and close neighbour and friend for many years, you know, paid off. And he said, look, just stop lambasting it. Why don't you actually take a look at it, you know? And then he introduced me to you and to Richard over the next sort of 48 hours. I asked you all the questions that were bugging me. And then it grew on me, you know. So I took the plunge. It was just a $300 package, because even at that stage, my cynical Irish head was saying, this is about as much as I'm prepared to lose if this thing's going down the toilet, you know. And but what I did do, John, and again, thanks to you, when I paid that $300 to get started, I literally spent the next 7 days engrossed with you, phone calls with Richard, going through the compensation plan, understanding, you know, that the trading was going on, understanding that the compensation plan, which I'm sure, you know, anyone who's involved now, not only will they realize that it's absolutely incredible, but it stacks up, every penny's costed, you know. And then ultimately getting the chance to spend time with Ron Pope, which I appreciate, is extremely valuable time. What was, I guess, the final straw for me to realize what a really incredible overall opportunity that Waskar and Edwin and the backroom guys had dreamt up, you know. It's just been it has been a phenomenal journey. And as you touched on earlier on there, you know, people who have been in the networking industry, and I know I don't look 30, but I've been in and around networking for 28 years, you know, as an active participant. It's been incredibly good for me. It introduced me to personal development and many other things. And I think, you know, that's one of the good things that we have here. We're surrounded by, and I've only got to meet some of the global leaders outside of my own team, but there's so much experience, John, that can be shared here, and these type of opportunities. And I know the rooms will be extended for next month, but it really solidifies the business that we have, and the opportunity to hear from people like yourself, from corporate, perhaps maybe someone else further up the line we might hear from shortly. But, you know, those opportunities don't come along often enough. And many people, including yourself, you know, we're being, you know, we frequently feel like we're having to put our armor on to go out and defend, you know, the soul of the company. And, you know, when corporates step up to the mark, you know, like they call it the directors, that was led by Waskar and yourself and Edwin on Thursday night for the directors and above, you know, that type of, those small snippets are golden nuggets that are invaluable. You just simply couldn't, you know, put a value on it or even measure how deep that gets into people, you know. So it's just brilliant. And thanks to you for pursuing with it and championing and ongoing, you know, on what's now happening. I think this will be a huge springboard for us having an incredible 2021, you know.
I think we've got a very exciting year ahead of us. And there was a couple of things you mentioned there that are critically important. You talked about Ron and the foundation, of course, that he's laid with all of the behind the scenes work and what members see in their back offices every single day. But you also mentioned transparency. the transparency that Waskar and Edwin built into the bonuses that we see every day. The fact that we can account for every dollar that's moving around in our back office, I think that's a beautiful thing again. And I agree with you. It goes a long ways in securing one's confidence and moving forward and building a platform like this.
Yeah, like I like you know, have been around a good while, and we frequently, like many of the leaders who are on this call, the other fellow directors and managers and presidents, and right down to executives, you know, but everyone who gets involved in this business is an important link in the chain, even at the lowest level. But the one thing that you know stands out for me here, John, is that everybody's a winner. And when I went through that compensation plan, and I get pitched on many compensation plans and many opportunities, I would say on top of the periphery, I get at least 2 to 3, maybe even 4 really good, solid, hard, strong pitches every single month. And the downside of many of them, and some of them look like cracking good opportunities, but I'm around the industry long enough to understand compensation plans. And the moment I started to delve into a compensation plan, which is what I did in that 7-day period, to look for flaws and to look for things that potentially will come back, irrespective of biting the network, if it's going to bite the company, and that has been the downfall of many good potential companies over the years, is that their compensation plan hasn't been well thought out, you know. And I can think specifically of binary plans, which might look very good on the initial stage, but when you have to modify and significantly modify your compensation plan, it hasn't been well thought out. And unfortunately, that has been the downfall of many good concepts. And that 7-day due diligence, as part of the due diligence that I did, went through the costings. And when I realized what Waskar had put together, I had to tip my hat to them. It is an incredible compensation plan. And everyone who's in this business now, any length of time at all, knows that, you know. It's the golden ticket that just keeps giving, and the compensation plan stacks up, and every penny in it stacks up. And that's what's important to me, as it is to all of the people in all of our organizations.
And sustainability, as you've just mentioned, sustainability is so critically important. I mean, it can really be the very first death sputter for companies if they have to do a major overhaul and restructure. One of the reasons, of course, is it sends a lot of doubt through members in the owners of the platform if they can't get it right in the beginning, if they can't crunch those numbers correctly. We know we're not having any of those problems. In fact, for those individuals that were on the directors and above call know that things are only going to get stronger and stronger moving forward. So that really is a blessing. You're absolutely right. Now let's take a second and talk about you specifically. And I'm just looking for a couple of pearls. Now, I didn't give you any heads up notice deliberately, because I want these to be a couple of things that just instantly pop into your head as items that you've learned over the years that make an important impact in building a business quickly. Because one of the things that I've noticed on all your calls is everybody matters. Everyone's important. In fact, you just alluded to that before when you were talking about links in the chain. And I know that everyone that works with you directly and indirectly that are part of your genealogy would appreciate that about you. In fact, for those of you who have never been on one of Hugh's private Zoom calls, and that would be the majority of you, the first 5 minutes of the call is him welcoming every single person by name as they enter the room, whether he knows them or not. And that's always stuck out with me. So share a couple of pearls that have had an impact on you and your ability to build things very quickly.
Yeah, well, I've been a private and personal student of psychology, John, for nearly 30 years. And again, I attribute a lot of that to what's good about network marketing. You know, unfortunately, there are too many detractors out there who unfortunately give, you know, it a bad name, who have never really understood what goes on, who never understand that many of us before Zoom drove the roads for many years, met many people, drove miles, drove days, got on airplanes, boarded ferries, went to places, spent days from home for people not to turn up. And the one thing that I realize is, and I take my hat off to everyone who's ever been successful in networking, is the only way you can really be successful in networking is by helping enough other people to be successful. And it's an old adage, and I learned it a very long time ago, and it still sticks to me today. And that is that, you know, you can help people by giving them handouts, but you can help people for a lifetime if you give them a hand up, you know. And one of the key things that I have learned in that time is that every human being that lives, every soul that lives is an important soul, and there's something important going on inside them. We don't know, because we don't know until you have stood in somebody else's shoes what's going on in their life. But one thing that I do know is, and I've come to learn this from leaders in politics and leaders in religion and leaders in business and other things outside of this, and the one thing that stands out a mile is recognition, and recognition of the soul. And when you were born, your parents blessed you with some sort of name tag. You know, you didn't know who you were just given a name. You were born into a family and given a name, but that name's important, and that name should always be acknowledged. And to the best of my ability, I do my best, and I'm not saying I get it right all of the time, but most of the time, to acknowledge people. And one of the things that I do next is that if I meet a John Kinnear, and I've never met John Kinnear before, if I get a chance to look into John Kinnear's eyes, I immediately associate John Kinnear with another John that I know. And I'll say John Kinnear's name a couple of times, so I'll John this and John that, and it's rare that I forget a name. I could meet somebody 10, 15, 20 years later, and people say to me, Jesus, how did you remember that name? It's subliminally driven into my subconscious. So it's nothing special, and I don't pretend to be anything special, but somewhere in the filing cabinet of the subliminal messaging or the subconscious mind is that person's name. And the moment I see them, it may not be their name that springs to mind, but the name that I have planted associated with that person many years ago. And I do that because that person's name is important to them, and we should be respecting it, you know?
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely. And obviously so do the people in the room from the comments that are coming in. So there's a couple of things I'm going to pull out of there, and you tell me how important these ideas are from what you were just sharing with me. First of all, for anyone new in network marketing, if you're afraid to get into the trenches, if you're afraid to put the hard yards in, you're going to have a tough time duplicating yourself and building anything of substance.
Sorry, John, I lost you a wee bit on that there.
That's okay. If you're new to network marketing, if you're new to entrepreneurship, and you're resistant to or not prepared to really get into the trench and put the hard work in, you're going to have a very difficult time.
Yeah, well, it goes the same for anything. You know, I left school with very few what might be described, if people can understand in the English language, what we would describe as academic qualifications. In other words, I couldn't wait to get out the door. I just had enough of school. Please let me out of here, and I'll make my own way in the world, you know. But I always knew, and on hindsight now, as I look back, I was always driven. I had always passion. But whatever job that I was given to do, whether I was an employee or whether I was working for myself, as I have been now for 22 years, or working for another company, or even helping a friend out with something, I treat every opportunity to do anything with the utmost respect. So I either do or I do not. I don't do things by half, you know, and I give personally, internally, thanks for every opportunity that I get to interact with somebody, or someone thinks enough of me to offer me an opportunity. And I say this again, hand in heart, it doesn't matter whether it's a job or whether it's running a business or whatever it is, I give it all or I don't give it at all. And people will know that. So when you join, this is something that I picked up, don't know whether it was told to me or whether it just sits in me deep, but I remember in a situation, in a job many, many years ago, because I've been self-employed for 22 years, so probably going back the best part of 30 years. And it was in an environment where people are very easily criticize the boss. It's easy to say, oh, that's so-and-so, or that scumbag, or that whatever, you know, or your supervisor, or whatever the case might be. And it occurred to me at that moment in time, and I call it the attitude of self-employment. And it occurred to me that if I don't, now whether I'm in a job or whether I'm doing something like what we're doing today, if I don't do my best all of the time, I'm not going to be keeping that job. I'm not going to be able to perform. I'm not going to be able to do the things that I want to do. And it gulls me when I hear people, particularly in an employed situation, and they could be in an environment or a place that's not good for them, get up and do something about it and leave. And that's what I actually did do. I was working in a factory at 18 years of age. I was very well paid for 18, but I knew it wasn't where I wanted to be. I knew it wasn't delivering everything that I wanted life to deliver. And I was working with guys who were constantly complaining. And I do pity, to a large extent, anyone who's spent most of their working life in a factory type of environment or an engineering type environment, and there's many talented people there, but there are amongst some of the most negative workplaces that you can meet, because absolutely everybody's an expert. So if you take an attitude of self-employment to everything that you do, that you're turning up to do the best job you can do, whether you're a volunteer, whether you're a worker, whether you're building a network, or whether you're a boss, if you don't turn up to do the best job that you can do all of the time, even if you fall short, if you turn up to do the best job that you can do, you'll be successful. And it doesn't matter what you do in life, whether you're a partner, a husband, business partner, employee, building a network in business. If you turn up to do the best job that you can do every time, you'll be successful, whatever successful means to you.
That's fantastic, dude. Absolutely fantastic. And I would agree with everything you've just shared as well. Listen, there was one other thing I was pulling out of the things you were sharing with us, and I think it's important to discuss this just for a few seconds before we wrap up, and that is the making sure that any prospect that you're speaking to regarding your home-based business, making sure that they understand very clearly that you're there for one reason: to assist them in identifying any needs they may have, and then identifying whether the platform you're endorsing can help them meet those needs or not. A very honest and open approach to sharing anything with anyone.
Yeah, well, one of the first things that I do say to people all of the time, and particularly in this environment here, is that I don't offer suggestions as to whatever. So people will frequently say to me, well, where do you think I should come in at? And the first thing that I will always say to them here is, you come in at where you're most comfortable. Do not get involved in this project if you've got any. You can have hints of doubt. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's inherent in our psychology. It's inherent in our DNA. It's the fight or flight that goes from our ancestors from tens of thousands of years ago, or however far back you want to go, and that's all right. But the thing about it is that I'm very conscious that there are opportunities out there that people have put together as quickly as humanly possible to milk as much money out of people as they can and then clear off. And in this particular environment, John, when I'm starting someone in the business, the first thing that I want them to do is to make sure that they join where they're comfortable, because what we do not want to create is any level of resistance, whether psychological or otherwise, or get them in a situation where they're feeling uncomfortable. The next thing that I'll ask the person is, what do you want from life? What do you want to achieve from this business? From what you have seen, from what you have heard, where would you like to take it? And then based on that, we can actually build a system around that best suits them. Because my dreams are my dreams, John. Your dreams are your dreams. Wascar's dreams are Wascar's dreams, as are the likes of all of the other presidents, directors, managers, right the whole way down to the people who have just joined. So what's important to me may not be important to them. So there's no point in me ramming it down their throat that I'm in this business to be a president and driving out the door in a new 911, because that might be important to me, but maybe what's important to them is how they get the next bill paid, how they get their groceries on the table, how they get their mobile phone paid, how they get money to get their children through school. So the second key thing that I do after they're comfortable at whatever level they want to join, and the reason I ask them where they're comfortable with joining is everybody's comfort's a different place. So once we have established that, we want to establish what they want to get from the business. Once we know that, then we can really go to town. We can build the system around what suits them, not what suits me, not what suits Wascar, not what suits John Kinnear or anybody else. What suits them, and then we can mold and build and create leadership that ultimately, John, and I know that you have a terminology. For me, I call it redundant. I think you call it being irrelevant, but for me, I call it redundant, because everybody is relevant in some shape or form. So what I want to do is get to a situation where everyone who joins my business ultimately is fit to stand alone, to do their own thing, and I'm not important. So ultimately, it's making myself redundant. And when I achieve that with enough people, irrespective of what else happens, whether financial or other words, I know I've been successful.
Well, listen, Hugh, I certainly appreciate you being the very first guest for our January end of month event. And I know everyone else does as well. This has been certainly some wise words that you passed on. The experience is certainly oozing out of everything you're sharing with us. And I want to thank you very much for all of your hard work, all of your participation, and all of the support that you've given me since you first got involved. In fact, even before that, when you were still vetting this platform.
Super. Listen, thank you, and appreciate, there's a lot of love for everybody out there, including Waskar, and I just like to leave it with this, John, because like you, like everyone else on this call tonight, guys, we're getting so much, I'm going to say impatience from people, because there are people out there who are always pushing. Like you, like everyone else on this call tonight, guys, we're getting so much.
Let me take care of that first.
Sorry, John, can you hear me
That's
okay? Yeah, I just...
You'll have to unmute yourself again, Hugh.
Hello.
There you go. Okay? Please continue. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to close by leaving this thought with people. We are in an amazing opportunity, and I was one of those detractors 12 months ago, 11 months ago, 8 months ago, not 9 months, or sorry, 10 months ago. But what I will say to you is many of them are either coming from a place of ignorance, and that's not to be derogatory to them, they just haven't stopped to take the information on board, or they're coming from pushing a completely different agenda. And that agenda is not wholesome. That agenda is not to serve us any good, but to serve what best suits them. So I would encourage everyone to stop looking at the crap that's on Facebook, or the crap that's on YouTube, or the crap that people who are running blogs and are making a fortune from getting you to click on that, and encouraging your people to click on it. This week alone, every single other day, I have 2 or 3 messages from someone saying to me, have you seen this? Have you seen this? I haven't opened up one of them, but when I clicked on one today, it just got to me, and I had clicked on it, and I seen 40 minutes of crap. Somebody's 40 minutes of crap that will destroy your psyche if you listen to that and you let your people listen to it. So encourage them. Know that those people are pushing a different agenda. Know that Waskar has got a wholesome agenda for us. And with John, with everybody else's support, guys, get your shoulder behind them, and let's help everybody be successful. And thanks again, John, for the opportunity to speak, and look forward to a really successful 2021 for everybody.
Thanks very much, Hugh. Those are great, strong, very strong closing words. So I appreciate you leaving on such a constructive note. So one of the things I want to comment in regards to what Hugh was wrapping up with as he was sharing a couple of those pearls and the importance to him. And he certainly is one of those individuals that walks his talk. As I mentioned before, every single private Zoom that he's doing, he's introducing and welcoming people by name, whether he knows them or not. So this is really him valuing every single individual that he's working with, and even valuing individuals that he's not working with. One of the most common challenges that I think that members in general are met with, and one of the most common questions that I receive is, I said this to my friend, this was the response, how do I manage this?
John, you're muted there?
Yes?
You went to mute there, but you're okay.
Okay, all right. So until you make it perfectly clear that you're there to assist and there to bring value, you often are easy to tune out or ignore. Everyone in today's world is just so busy. Everybody is being pitched something. And so you do not want to go into presentations with a pitch. You want to go into presentations with questions. And so we're going to talk about all of those things, how to really hone your skills and to become an absolute monster at sharing anything with anyone. And that's going to be the predominant purpose for these end of month meetings as we move forward. So thanks again to you. Greatly appreciated. So now we have the tail end of this presentation. This is not going to be terribly time consuming, but there's a lot of real value to pass on to you. So will our special guest that fortunately was able to get into the room, please feel free to unmute themselves and turn their camera on and come be a special guest. Come be a special guest.
Thank you very much, John. And well, what an amazing call. It's been incredible to listen, Mr. Hughes.
Special guest.
Mr. Hughes, thank you very much, John. And well, what an amazing call.
We've got 2 devices probably unmuted. That's why.
I'm sorry, John. Can you allow my computer, my other computer,
Of course,
to go into the call so that I can disconnect? Yep. Because I was with a bit of a problem to join the call because it was so many people. All right.
Both are co-hosts now, by the way.
Okay. Now I'm here. All right. Let me get out of here. Oh.
Look at all the
I'm here.
The accolades for Hugh.
All right.
Thanks very much again, Hugh. As Waskar's getting all set up. Look at all the
I'm here.
The accolades for Hugh.
All right.
Thanks very much again, Hugh. Whenever you're ready, Waskar, please feel free.
Can you listen to me well now, John?
I can hear you well now. I think both devices were unmuted for a moment.
Thank you very much. Yes, it was. What an incredible afternoon, John. Listen to this gentleman, Mr. Hugh, the new director in the company. And it's worth it to recognize all the value he brings into the table and how constructed way of thinking, the way you mentioned it before. And it is what it is. I mean, if what you put in your mind, how you set your mind is the way you're going to achieve. And if you start focusing on something that is not constructive, that's where you're going to get. So congratulations, Mr. Hugh McKellen, for that is exceptional way of leadership that you have. Congratulations for your director rank. And well, you couldn't say it better. I couldn't say it better. It's what we're doing here. The community, everyone is collaborating. Everyone is focused on delivering in the company, starting with me and followed by this incredible team, John, the programmer, designer, and everybody, the traders, engineers, and everybody involved in the company. So it is thrilled to start this end of the month calls. It is going to be very, very nice because that way we can connect again to that community that is pushing and everybody that is right there building their dreams. And often, time to time, we can see that the impact that we're having in the world is very positive, but also brings a few other people that, like John said, we need to buckle in on the head, because they are very creative in a bad way. And success bring a great responsibility. Everybody knows that. And some of those people that are out there, they just looking for who is successful for them to benefit from that. So I just want to start this corporate updates, letting you, all those thousands of members that are new in the company, that you need to be watch what you see, watch what you listen, and watch where you're going with your devices. Because right now we've seen since we got up in the company, sites, there are scams, apps that are stole your identity, and if you can roll all the slides, John, you can see that one of the things that we wanted to let you know today, especially for those new members, because we have 20-something new members every month, and we keep growing very fast, which is remarkable, and we're very excited and happy about that. But you need to keep it up with the news that we handle in the company within the official channels, and that's why I wanted to mention in this end of the month call, right there on the screen, you can see our Facebook page, which is official and which is not, Instagram, Twitter, and our channels and YouTube that you need to be aware of. And also, I don't know, we reported like 5 or 6 websites. If you can keep going, John, you see those we reported a few times, especially this one, the the social media, the fake app. Also, we don't have any app yet because we've been dealing with other development. So don't go and download any app because it will steal and jeopardize your account. Also, this website, Oak Miners, don't even go there because it's a fishy scam site. Stole our copyrights, our designs, everything. So another one there is being copied is oneworldinvestment.com. So they don't have any scruples. They just copy everything the way it is. And it's just because they want to claim that we have offers. They ask you for BTC. They duplicate stuff. So it is a technological speaking an industry that is growing, and people, fortunately, that doesn't have any experience, they fall for it, and they fall and they lose their crypto, their BTC. So please inform to your members, watch it out. We never claim any prize. We never do promotions or anything or any type. So please, it's very important that you understand this. And I took more time than usually we do on this end of the month call talking about this, because it is remarkable, John, to see how many websites keep coming into the space. And they don't even change anything, they just throw it away just like that. Anyway, it's great to read all the messages that I'm reading here. I love you, all of you guys, and it is rewarding to see the appreciation. That's what we work for so hard here. I want to congratulate also John for the extremely great work putting together this end of the month call and everything he do in the marketing side and all the collaboration that we have with the corporate team. Okay, so
one thing, if you don't mind, I just wanted to draw a little attention to the importance of one of the things that you were just saying. And that is, so many of these sites are continuing to pop up because there's an opportunity for these people to make money. And so the more savvy that we become and the more that we pre-warn other people, our team members, that's less people to fall into these traps, less money to fund some of this nonsense that's going on.
Exactly right. And they're just looking a way to get money, to steal your money. And the other day, I was a couple of days, somebody posted a fake channel with my face, with my picture, saying that I'm going to launch a cryptocurrency and everything. And it's just hilarious, it's just, they come up with some genius stuff, very creative people, but it is just remarkable. Just to stick with.
So that's not legitimate.
It's not legitimate.
Dude, they just bought a whole pile of it.
Oh my God. You were in the deck waiting for it to be launched. They were launching on St. Valentine's Day, John. They were going to launch that on St. Valentine's Day. They picked a really good date for that, February 14th. So guys, just focus on your couple, on your friends, delivering your kisses and your chocolates, only that. Don't buy any Huascar cryptocurrency because it's just fake. Okay, guys, some of the exciting news moving forward with our phase 2 is the copy trade that we're having so much development in that, and we are growing so much with so many people and establishing the relationship with the broker, working with different technologies. It is extremely hard work that we've been doing with the engineers and Mr. Edwin Abad, who is leading the way, and all that work, hard work, many weeks, I think more than almost 2 months working to deliver a minimum balance so you can start copy trading. If you didn't register on the broker yet through the back office, don't worry, it will come the time for you to do it. We will allow people to come in again in a couple of days. We're just tuning in all the technology with it. But if you're already registered, if you already have an account, we have more than 10,000 account already created. You can fund your account with $1,000 in the broker. You can send $1,000 so you can start beta testing. It is not going to be a very large operations trading, but it's going to allow us to feel the technology, feel the copy trading, the response, how is the latency on the copy trade, and it will allow us to test the system. We are a couple of weeks, probably the most away from launching this product. We are very ahead. We are very extremely confident in that. And I know there's people from Nigeria, from Africa, many countries that mentioned the fact that it was high, the $5,000, the $10,000 amount to start beta testing. It's because it was the beta testing, and the technology won't allow you to start with a minimum of 1,000. You know, guys, it's an algorithm that is programmed in a way for you to make a profit. It's just not for you to participate in Forex market. It's just for you to be successful in Forex market. That's our goal, and that's what we're doing here. So I advise you, if you want to grab a grasp of something of what we're doing, and you want to be one of the first ones in these beta testing copy trades, go ahead, and if you already have an account, if you don't have an account in the broker, just stay put. We're gonna enable the links again through the back office, so you can register and open your account. For now, I think 10,000, 11,000 people within the company are with one account is already linked, and they just have to fund it with $1,000. This is a great achievement, guys, because it's lower, you know, the entry level for everybody who start understanding this Forex. Now through our master account in CFX, now you're going to do it yourself. You're going to have your MetaTrader. You're going to download the app of the broker, and that way you can have a lot of people in your team experience what we're doing. All right, so pretty exciting, John. Pretty good. I mean, we got it. I mean, we conquered this 1,000 minimum for the algorithm to be working fine, and you can join our always win strategy. So far,
this is a very big deal.
Very big deal. I mean,
a lot of work goes in behind the scenes to drop that limit like that.
Very. I mean, pandemic didn't allow the team to meet with Mr. Edwin Abad, our lead producer for the algorithms and the Forex strategy, and he couldn't, you know, be together in person to accelerate the process. So it was double difficult for the team to achieve this 1,000. But so far we're pretty confident, and I think we tested enough. Now it's time for you guys test it yourself and start experiencing that compound interest, and experiencing that what is to be a beta tester with us. Facebook looking very good.
Now there are some European countries and other places in the world that obviously EverFX doesn't service. This call, ladies and gentlemen, I know many of you are waiting with questions regarding that. This call is not designed to answer those questions. However, as copy trading continues to gain more and more momentum and really kind of shove its way to probably the most important position of CFX, leading the charge, and all the benefits that come from copy trading, more information will be sent out to all of you regarding a variety of different copy trading and broker subjects. You're just not going to receive those things today.
Exactly. We just want to bring this news to you guys, so you can share with everybody. Everybody in the company have this news. We did the other day, last Thursday, a call for the people in copy trade and beta testing. So as John said, we're going to move forward, and I just wanted to share how privileged we are in this pandemic to be able to help thousands, hundreds of thousands of people through this vision, guys. And right now we reach 170,000 people, more than 170,000 people, and families that are eating, they are supporting their families with CFX. So I think the forces of evil will be crunching down there, because we are going to keep doing that, and we're gonna keep helping a lot of the most people that we can. And it's remarkable, all the messages, John, all the testimonials, all the success stories that we're having. So we've been growing so much, and I have no doubt that we'll be hitting less than 90 days. We're going to be hitting 500,000 members. In 90 days, we're going to have launching many things, and we are preparing to another $1 trillion industry that we're tapping into. So stay tuned, because what is coming is big, guys. It is big. It is incredibly big. So that's our goal. I know we have only 2 ambassadors, but I know there are 6 presidents in the company that are really close to get to ambassador. And I just heard there was 1 ambassador in the company that were preparing some wrap up Ferrari with CFX, and I just saw some sketch that they sent me. Wow, that's looking pretty, guys. That's looking really nice already, John.
That's fantastic. You know what else I'm looking forward to, though, is at the end of next month, when we add to this corporate data the number of mentors we have in the company.
Right in the point, because we just got it up, and we have ready to enable that function in your back office. And the badge is looking really good. The banner is looking really good, the mentor banner. So I think for those who are passively making their way in CFX, it's going to be remarkable to see taking that 3x3 and the use of the tools that we teach them to use to multiply their team and to grow, and to have their first 3, mentoring those 3 to do the same, and to do the same, and to do the same. That will explode your matrix. That will explode your organization. I mean, how many people do you know that doesn't have $300 to start your business? It's just 3. And then you mentor them to do the same. And that's all it takes to start in the bull run in CFX. I just put some numbers here, John, about the how many ranks we have in the company. And I'll say there is really a lot that people achieving those, but I think those numbers are gonna triple very soon. The prices people are getting, those prices to help in their situations right now, to help them grow a lot. So I am really and extremely happy for the amount of people with ranks in the company. Hopefully soon this year, probably, I don't know, we don't know when, but we have to put that in our minds that soon we can get together to hand it over all those silver and all those gold pins to all of you guys. There are original pins, and we can give each, sharing an event, this recognition and celebrating all the achievement that you're done. I see in the chat here talking about a Panama party. And well, we tell you guys, we have the office really done and ready. We just be able to not being able to receive what is missing in the office for finishing up. But I think in the next few months we're gonna be able to do it, and I think we're gonna have top leadership coming into those offices, beautiful, to celebrate their success and to have mentorship and training with the company. As you can see, the numbers, 1525 executives so far, 350 managers, 83 directors, with huge McKellen, that you heard this gentleman with a successful set of mind, that I advise you to follow this gentleman principles, and it's what it is. I mean, I want to share the one last thing with all of you guys, and it's one thing that John mentioned in the beginning of the call. And I want to go back in the slides, John, where you're talking about this book that you mentioned, because for me, it's one of the books that influenced me a lot because of the simplicity of the book, but it's also deep in the knowledge of your mind. And yes, and Think and Grow Rich for me is a Bible for achieving anything you want. The other day I just pulled out a link. There is a movie, like it's a documentary movie in YouTube. You can search for it, Think and Grow Rich in YouTube. But the book is really better. I mean, because what you're decided that you're gonna do, what you talk every day to your subconscious mind, and what you focus on, you get it. And that's why since I started network marketing over 10-12 years ago, once I switched for acting 95% action and 5% thinking, and I switched that and to 95% of working with my mind and 5% physical effort, everything changed. Everything changed, because whatever you say on your lips, get out of your lips, your subconscious doesn't distinguish what is good or what is wrong. It just delivers you, and it creates the atmosphere, and it just prosper around you. Whatever, if you say bad things or whatever you say good things, it will create everything around you. And when you focus with a very fire strong will what you want, and you repeat it, and you make those positive affirmations, don't make affirmation in the future, make it now. I am grateful, I'm happy because I have this and this and this. I am happy because everybody loves to work with me. I am happy because I'm successful. I'm happy because I create a network of over 100,000 people. I am happy because I'll be able to buy my house. I am happy because of this and this and this and that. And it's just not a mantra for attraction. It is the rule that is governing your life. Everything that you do, everything that you think, just switch it. If you don't put positive knowledge in your mind, it's impossible to achieve anything. I just wanted to take this time, John, because I think this is important. Think and Grow Rich is one of the best recommendations that we endorse as a company. Is the beginning of everything that you're gonna do. And to the leadership, I was talking to the leadership the other day with the president and the directors above, and I was encouraging them to do more training on self-development. I know many people get to the company looking for passive income. I know that many people are here because they see positive in other people. But I advise you that once you start breathing in your finance a little bit, and you want to not just make some extra income, like John said before, but also change radical in your life, you want to focus on self-growing yourself, self-development. And every time I see the proper way to communicate, I see the way you guys helping your downlines is not just bring people into the business. You need to focus on helping and educate them. It is not enough all the channels that we have. It is not enough all the time that we have to educate it, but we need you involved as a leader to educate them. I'm looking forward for the next end of the month call, probably with more news and updates. This is going to be a February, a month very short, okay? As February is always short. And we're looking forward that you understand that to speed up on the things that you want, speed up in the things that you want to achieve, because you don't have time to lose, It's just time passing right in front of us. And as I heard, don't listen rubbish online. Don't read or pay attention to those rubbish. I say rubbish because I like that specifically word from our friends from UK, that always say just rubbish.
Yeah, neither you nor Hugh are quite as comfortable with profanity as I am. So let's just stick with rubbish for now.
Thank you very much, John, for this amazing call. I enjoyed it so much. Thank you, guys. We promise next time we'll broadcast from for YouTube. We'll put a link because 1,000 people is not enough here. Even me, I was out. I just tried to get in 5-10 minutes earlier, and it was full already without opening the room. Which is amazing. I mean, we have 170,000 members, and 1,000 member room is not good enough.
Well,
anyway,
we also know how many, and we're going to know from our mentor program very soon, just how many of you are really looking to embrace this role of entrepreneurship and really take on the responsibility of being of assistance to those around you. And so, yeah, we will definitely be crunched for space for every meeting, subsequent meeting from this point forward. Thanks again.
It's one last thing that I wanted to mention, because I know everybody is excited. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you, everybody. I mean, it's incredible. It's so nice to receive that energy from you guys. It's pushing us forward to keep working hard. And I just wanted to say, customer service is improving a lot in receiving you asking for withdrawals, and the company is paying as fast as the BTC allow us to pay in a lateral movement. And also the technology, we have a technology that we have to proceed with careful to not mess around with the scammers and maintain security. So I think we're processing now an average like 7 days, probably, is 3 days, 3 business days, but usually because of the amount and the size of the company now, we don't stop paying every moment, every day. We are paying constantly, but as it's so much, we pick up day by day in the order received. So we really appreciate the leadership passing through this, and have patience, because payments are not going anywhere. It's going to arrive. That's for sure. You're not going to miss any payment. We're just getting that to secure the finance of the company in volatile time. But overall, we feel very, very bullish, very bullish with Bitcoin. This is an amazing year for everybody who is involved in crypto. If you're new, you just got your wallet and start paying, cashing out with CashFX. Congratulations, because you just got into the $1 trillion industry with Bitcoin. And this year is one of the best years after the halving pass. It's going to skyrocket. It's going to keep, increasing. So I just wanted to say that, John, before I let everybody go. And thank you very much for the time and for being here, guys. For me, it's a privilege to be serving you. We're just an employee here, and we love the community. We love you guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you, Hugh. Thank you, Oscar. And thanks to all of you
Sure.
for your patience and for your contribution. We look forward to speaking with you in this format again in less than a month.
Thank you very much. Have a blessed weekend, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys.